Hello and welcome to our program at Palestine International Broadcast. I'm Osama Nazal. It's good to have you with us. Linda Mansour is a Palestinian American litigator and consultant for over 42 years, having grown up and worked in Europe, the Middle East, and the United States. Linda Mansour has played a significant leadership role in different civic, charitable, and professional organizations. Linda has been on different missions to the Palestinian refugee camps in Lebanon in 1982 and to the occupied Palestinian territory, the West Bank and Gaza. And she has invested much of her effort and energy into promoting the culture and art of Palestine in the United States. Welcome to our program, Ms. Linda.
I'm glad to join you.
You're welcome. Ms. Linda, you have moved with your parents to the United States at the age of 8, and you studied there and you are working there until now as a lawyer. Tell us about this personal experience as a Palestinian American living and working there.
Yes, well, first we came from Europe. My father left Palestine in 1948 and came to the United States to the dream of being a physicist. And his story in itself is short, but we won't go there now. So when I came here, I spoke only French and experienced what it was like as a young child come to a completely different country, not knowing the language or the culture. And I think that experience kind of laid seed to understanding what we have in common, wanting to be accepted, wanting to be acknowledged.
As a Palestinian woman, playing leadership role in different organizations, occupying different positions, how did you try to show the people of the United States the real Palestinian narrative?
Okay, so I think I recognized quickly that what I needed to do, and it wasn't like a conscious decision, it was basically living life, that people who knew me, not as an abstract, but as a human being, listen, and were interested. And once I could get their interest, then I could push the message. And so I think many of your audience may remember Felicia Langer, the attorney that represented many Palestinians, a Jewish woman who wrote a book called With My Own Eyes. I took that opportunity to show people, some of them in Palestine itself through trips, and some of them just in my home or otherwise, but through the organizations and other, some of them were cultural. I would bring dance troupes, like I brought Wishah a year ago or so to our city. And unlike others, I didn't promote it to strictly the Arab American or Palestinian community. I promoted it to the community at large. I wanted them to see that we also dance. We also love music.
Sure.
So that was the cultural side. But there's no doubt that the political side is really what's making a difference. And the legal side. So, on the political side, I did get involved in, I was a delegate for the state of Ohio for Obama, and represented, I can tell you that at the convention, one individual put signs that had Israel and Ohio together under all of our chairs, the delegation from Ohio, and with instructions that when we got up as a delegation, we should put the signs for everybody to see. Mm-hmm. I immediately went to the chairman of the party and said, those signs will go down now. Those signs will be removed. And he said, well, I can't do anything about it. I said, oh yeah, you can. And so they were removed. Yeah. But the point is, if you're not there, you can't do anything. So I push people to get involved.
Yeah,
Bottom line.
that is when we talk about the internal level, when about your activity in the United States, in the American society. You have always been on missions to the Palestinian refugee camps and to the Palestinian occupied territory. Tell us about these missions and how they give a momentum to your message within the American society.
Right. So there's different kinds of missions.
Yes.
Those that I've been involved in are legal, and they are about investigating the war crimes. For example, Cass Sled in 2009, 2010,
The war on Gaza.
the war in Gaza,
Yeah.
or the massacres at Sabra and Shatila. If we weren't there, at the time we were there, nobody would know about it. And not only us, many organizations. I mean, now we have Facebook, we have news media that to some extent is on the ground. But at that time, there was nothing there. And so we're able to record firsthand what happened and apply US laws, and then come back to the US and say, wait a minute, you are giving the Israel X amount every year of military might to violate human rights. And so while it hasn't had the impact we want at the level we want, now as the ICC is moving forward, it has material that they otherwise would have.
Yes, Ms. Linda. Now, if you compare the situation today to the past in terms of the American people acceptance of the Palestinian story and the Palestinian narrative, if we make this kind of comparison, okay, what score you give to the Palestinian activists and to the Palestinian media and the people who are interested in the Palestinian cause when we talk about the perception, the American perception of the Palestinian cause and the Palestinian situation?
That's dangerous. You're speaking to an attorney.
Yeah.
I don't give a score. And the movement is somewhat more difficult now because we're recognized because of our successes, because of the students on the campuses, because of the BDS movement, because of our ability to integrate within the US political system in a way we never did before. Many people would ask, Palestinian, where is Palestine? Now that's not the question. Now it's like, wait a minute, stop them from talking and criminalize their speech. So I think I would give us a good score because the harder the resistance is, the more we know we're succeeding. But it's not over.
Yes, my final question to you, Ms. Linda, because you are an attorney and you're talking about the legal aspect of the Palestinian cause and the Palestinian suffering. The ICC announced days ago that it had jurisdiction over the Palestinian occupied territory. In legal terms, what benefit, what advantage the Palestinians can get from this decision by the ICC? In brief, please.
Well, in full transparency, I'm not an expert on international law, but I can say this. It gives us hope that there's a legal arm as opposed to a political arm. But having said that, there's game still being played, yet at least Palestine has been defined as a state, and now we need to become a state. We don't have boundaries. We don't have rights, and the U.S. is still fighting to keep in place the status quo. Trump had put things in place that now Biden is adopting to fight the ICC and its decision. So I have hope, but I'm not saying let's lay down and stop doing what we're doing.
Yeah. Linda Mansour, Palestinian American attorney and activist. Thank you very much for joining our program. Thank you.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure.
Okay, you're welcome. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
And that's all for our program today. Thank you very much for watching and have a nice time.